guys, this is Oliver Scat from Centertainment, and today I have an album review. I'm going to be reviewing Radioactive by Yelawolf. Just purchased the album. I have to say, 1 to 10, trunk music, I would have definitely given like an 8.5. Trunk music was raw, and it was in your face, and it was an incredible album, well, mixtape, whatever. And then Yelawolf signs with Shady Interscope, when he comes out with his freshman release, Radioactive. It's I have a 17 track thing. I don't know if that's correct or what, but whatever. Track 1 is Radioactive. It starts off with like a military warning sign, like signal, you know, just that alarm, and then it pops up with Yelawolf doing like this kind of slow with a deeper voice flow, and then he picks it up with his Yelawolf voice and shreds it. Sorry about this. Number 2 is called Get Away. It's a pretty good record. It's featuring Shawty Fat and Mystical. Shawty Fat and Mystical do okay, but right now I'm really into like this Midwest chop type flow, just like the quick stuff, like Twista and Tech Nine, and Yelawolf's not Tech Nine or Twista or Busta Rhymes, but he's pretty quick. But track number 2 is Get Away. Track number 3 is Let's Roll featuring Kid Rock. Now you know that whenever Yelawolf comes out with a song with Kid Rock, and the next thing you know, like the NFL is using it. He's doing something. Overall, Let's Roll. It's an alright song. It's not one of my favorites. I don't really like the hook. I hear the hook is powerful from other people, and I'm just not feeling the hook. Number 4 is called Hard White with Lil Jon. This is probably, if I had 1 to 5, favorite tracks on this album, Hard White would definitely be like number 3. Just because it's just a great song overall, There's nothing negative about it. And Lil Jon, he's like the perfect hype man. That's why he's on so many songs, and all he has to do is say, let's go, or yeah. Ridiculous. Track number 5 is Growing Up in the Gutter, featuring Ritz. This is kind of like a more eerie, like creepy vibe song, but it's really good. It's really, you can find yourself listening to it. Growing Up in the Gutter, check that out. It's pretty good. That would probably be like my number 4. Number 6, Throw It Up, featuring Gangsta Boo and Eminem. Now this song, I thought it had so much potential. I didn't know who Gangsta Boo was. Obviously Yelawolf and Eminem. So the song starts off. You get Yellow's verse, and even though it didn't really seem like Yelawolf and Eminem were rapping about throwing it up, they were just kind of going off on rhyme schemes and crazy flows, which is fine with me because personally hip hop right now doesn't speak to me. It just speaks about a bunch of random shit and all these people making all this money. I'm not making any money. All these people being gangster. I'm not from the streets. All these people fucking, all these hot ass bitches. I've been single for like the last 3 years. But Throw It Up, it's an alright song. Gangsta Boo could have came a little bit harder. I checked out some of our other stuff. I can't quote it right now. And then Eminem, I don't know what the fuck Eminem did. I can't say he had the worst verse ever, because it was a tight ass verse. It wasn't on subject, but he had pretty good flows. Now at the very end of Throw It Up, you get this short little skit with Eminem and Yelawolf talk to each other about, did Eminem put the verse on Throw It Up? He says he killed it. And he tells Yelawolf to make a love song. It's a funny little skit. You gotta check it out. But it leads into number 7, which is called Good Girl, featuring Pooh Bear. Good Girl isn't about good girls. You know what I'm saying? Good Girl is about bad girls trying to be good. It's a pretty decent song. Yelawolf really brought in some softer, like his softer side on this album, which I think is a really good move actually, because the whole dream of getting signed to a major label is blowing up and have everybody know your name. So if you put like a couple more softer sounding tracks, there's a better chance they're getting played on the radio, which is what you want, you know. And people are like Radioactive, you know, this album wasn't that explosive. You know, he's radioactive, he wants to be active on the radio. So he's gonna get there. Number 8 is called Made in the USA, featuring Priscilla, Priscilla Renee. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but Made in the USA, you know, Yelawolf just pretty much tells you exactly what it's fucking like to be made in the USA. You know, he talks about all the fucking broke people, and that, you know, I could really relate to Yelawolf over everybody else because I feel like I'm kind of coming out of the same, you know, lifestyle, and he's only from one state below me, so that's pretty cool. Even though he's Southern, you know, I rep that Midwest. Number 9 is Animal, featuring Fifi Dobson. Now, this song, it starts off and he says, I want to sing you a little ditty. And there's this one line in the song where he talks about, where he says, if you want to compare me to a legend, not a young fool. You know, and all this animosity, people are saying Yelawolf and MGK are going to beef. I feel like if they were, MGK ain't fucking with Animal. You know, he's got that quick flow, but Yelawolf, you know, he's got substance. He's real. MGK, I just feel like is a walking billboard for Cleveland. But, you know, Midwest, whatever. Number 10 is called The Hardest Love Song. Now, just the title of the song is, you know, a little bit unreal. You know, The Hardest Love Song. Like, what the fuck? But it's a pretty hard-ass love song. It's definitely the hardest love song I ever heard. You know, it's a tight-ass song. I'm not going in depth with these because my phone, you know, doesn't take that long of videos. Number 11 is probably my favorite track on the entire album. It's called Write Your Name, featuring Mona Mona. And this song is just so tight. You know, I could see this being the biggest song off the entire album as far as radio goes. Man, it's just a really tight song. You know, it's real. It's not over the top. You know, and there's this one guy named Nick Bag who says Yelawolf tries too hard when he raps. I think that stupid motherfucker tries too hard when he reviews shit because he's a fucking idiot. Back on track here. Number 12 is called Everything I Love the Most. You know, why is it so wrong for me? And he's just talking about everything he loves the most. It's not, you know, it's not accepted by society, you know, which is, it's a really good message to get out there. Number 13 is called Radio. Remember that one song, Radio Killed the, or TV Killed the Radio Star, whatever. Now he's talking about YouTube's killing the video stars, because it is. You know, anybody can get famous off YouTube now if they have something that makes people chuckle and laugh, which is, you know, it's good enough reason to get them up there, but you're looking at guys who are throwing their entire lives away for just a shot that they might not ever get, as opposed to someone like Shane Dawson who just makes a video, you know, and gets noticed. Number 14 is called Slamerican Shitizen, and it's featuring Killer Mike. Now, it's an alright song, you know, it's pretty rock influenced, pretty heavy for a hip hop song in modern times. But it's not a bad song, you know, it's just talking about American citizens, and that's what it's about, you know. Number 15 is called Last Song, and Last Song is probably my number 2 off of this album, because, you know, that song feels like it's just got a lot of heart behind it, and Yelawolf really went in on that song. Man, yeah, the first time I heard Last Song, you know, I was definitely just like blown away by the lyricism he put into it, because it's not just about rap in that song. And a lot of people think that people like Lil Wayne are the best rappers ever. They're not, because he's not a lyricist. You know, he's pumping out a bunch of shitty ass metaphors. He ain't talking about anything you can relate to. When was the last time he said something that you thought was relevant to your life? Lollipop? I don't think so. Alright. Number 16 on the version I have is called Hall Pass, and it's Kid featuring Yelawolf. I haven't really listened to it. You know, I got all this new stuff I've been listening to lately. Uh, and then 17 on the one I have is called, yeah, it's not called anything. It's a Tim Westwood radio freestyle where Yelawolf just goes over Tyler the Creator's Yonkers beat, or whatever beat that is. And You know what I'm saying? It sounds like he subliminally went after Kel's there too, which is whatever. But Radioactive 8.5. No, 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 no. 0 to 60. Trunk music 8.5. Because it was just so raw and out of nowhere. But I'm gonna give Radioactive the same thing because this is a real album. This isn't a mixtape material type thing. This isn't something to get your name out there to show everybody that you're rugged and raw like Yelawolf produced. This album, this album could almost be a greatest hits album because all the songs on it are so good. In my opinion, I could listen to the whole album all day because there's a lot of variety on this album. You go from like Radioactive, and then you like just jump straight into, I skip songs, so Radioactive straight into Let's Roll, which I know I said I didn't like, but it's an alright song. Going to Let's Roll, then like straight to Hard White, then I'll jump down to something like Animal, and then I'll go up to like Growing Up in the Gutter, and then Write Your Name, and then last song, this, I don't know. I love this album. This is Oliver Scat from Entertainment. Comment, rate, subscribe. Take this gay ass video and fucking post it on your Facebook wall. Do whatever you got to do with it. But everybody should definitely go out and get Radioactive. Throw up some support for Yelawolf. Nick the Bag. Fuck you.